Toon Turf is coming soon, and as someone who has spent 12.5 hours watching all of Danno's shorts just to extract the lore, I am ready to make some predictions. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Extract Lore or King Boba Fett, and I make videos about stuff on YouTube, like Short Wars, Toon Turf, etc. And today I have some theories about Toon Turf, and they're only going to be getting more wild as the video goes on. First prediction is going to be about Ruby and Candy's father. We know that their father goes to jail because he is mixed up with the Red Rabbit. Why would they want to throw the Red Rabbit in jail in the first place? I'm not really sure. He literally has his own holiday, which they actively celebrate still. But I digress. Ruby and Candy's father is in jail, and it's heavily implied that this happens before Riggy is born. However, the images Danno posted in his server seem to throw this into question. In some of these images, we see Lucky saying some pretty interesting stuff, seemingly talking to Riggy about how he's seen the flames and admitting that he was probably a bad guy before, but has since changed. Dacia theorizes that Lucky is probably going to be going for a redemption arc, and this probably happens later in the series. But along with Lucky's messages, we also see messages from Ruby and Candy's father, where he calls the politicians colorblind, saying that there's been a mix-up, basically. And I don't know, from the way it's said, it kind of implies that, like, this is Ruby and Candy's father fighting for himself, seemingly when he's just thrown into jail. But maybe that was the wrong idea, and maybe Danno's being a bit sneaky here. Maybe these messages don't happen all at the same time. Maybe Lucky says what he says later, but these messages by Ruby and Candy's father happen much earlier. And thanks to Dacia for this, but in the members only livestream, Danno said that Ruby is older than Riggy by 4 years, and that this is very important. And we also know that a big event happened before Riggy was born. Now, I'm not 100% sure that this big event is the imprisonment of Candy and Ruby's father, but the fact that Ruby being older than Riggy by 4 years is important, yeah, that leads me to believe that their father went to jail before Riggy was born. I mean, in the short where this happens, Ruby and Candy are literally children, and they look to be around 2 or 3 years old, meaning that Riggy isn't born yet. And we also see that the father's cell number is 1, also heavily implying that, yeah, this happens very early on. So that's my prediction. And I'm also gonna predict that their father is still in jail when the pilot starts, which is 18 years later. Maybe Ruby, who is Riggy's ex, maybe she acts the way she does because she has a hard time dealing with her father being in jail. But yeah, that first prediction was relatively safe. But now let's get into something more interesting. And yes, this is the one in the thumbnail. My next theory is that Riggy and Lucky are going to switch roles as the seasons go on. Like, Riggy is going to be the underdog taking on the evil Lucky, but then it's gonna switch to Lucky being the underdog, trying to take down Riggy, who will do some terrible things. And there's actually quite a lot of evidence for this. I just found this Discord message right here. Now I'm gonna read most of this, so there we go. Starting here, Riggy says, I lived a great life in Toonville for a couple of years, took down that famous celebrity, Lucky, I've told you about, eventually even became a celebrity myself, but I found out some things that I probably would have done better without knowing. I tried to be a hero, but eventually I got caught up with everything and trying to be famous. And then I lost it all. When I met you, found this whole other world outside of mine, one where I didn't turn everyone against me, I don't know. I kind of viewed it as a second chance. I believe that in season 1, Riggy is going to move to Toonville, meet the celebrity named Lucky, see how greedy and corrupt he is, and try and take him down, which eventually he does, as stated in this Discord message. And I believe that's going to happen at the end of season 1, kind of like as a big finale. We know in the modern day, Riggy has said this.
Okay, listen, I've been pretty busy running Toonville recently, so I don't have time to always be here.
With Lucky being taken down, Riggy is going to be in charge. Riggy is going to become a celebrity himself and the face of Toon Turf. This explains why Lucky's fountain disappears. Maybe Riggy outed Lucky and exposed him, and the town turned against Lucky. But in season 2, things seem to change. And this is where we get this interesting message that I talked about in my last theory, where Lucky says that he used to be a bad guy, but not anymore. He says that the Red Rabbit changed him, said that he made him find out the truth about their world, and that he can explain the truth about what Riggy has done, what he is, and why he needs to stop. Lucky has found something out and is now trying to stop Riggy. But from the Discord message, we also know that Riggy finds some stuff out. I believe this is all tied into the prophecy, and I believe Lucky and Riggy have two completely different views on how to fulfill it, or destroy it, or whatever. I believe both are trying to save Toonville, save the Toon Turf world. We know that Riggy has said that he's morally gray, and that he's been in the wrong place at the wrong times. Like, he believes he had to do what he had to do, and that's why his biggest fear is Lucky being right.
Biggest fear.
Lucky being right.
What if all he's been doing, all he's been committing is all wrong? Riggy tried to be the hero, but it only made everyone hate him. Everyone see him as evil, even though I believe Riggy is trying to save them.
How am I gonna save them all now?
Is it the correct way of saving them? Well, Lucky does not seem to think so. I always found it interesting that in the History of Riggy video, that the season 2 text is in Lucky's colors. Like it's heavily going to be focused on Lucky and how he sees himself as the underdog trying to stop Riggy. I honestly believe that's where Detective E. comes from, who is a private investigator. My guess is that Lucky hires him in season 2 to investigate Riggy, to help Lucky stop him once and for all. Now maybe Lucky was involved with the Penguin Mafia in the first season, but I do also believe that in season 2, Lucky is going to be in contact with them to try and take Riggy down. But again, who knows, that's just a theory. A YouTube theory! Okay, I've got 2 more predictions and these are completely bonkers. But before I get into those, please smash the subscribe button. It's the best way to keep me motivated to continue doing YouTube. And I was gonna make the goal of hitting 9,000 subscribers, but we literally hit that as I was making this video. I guess 10K by the end of the summer? Can we do it? Also, I should probably mention that I have a Discord. Anyways, let's get on to the first bizarre theory that I don't think has much evidence. Ferrick, what's his deal? We barely know anything about him besides him being a Fox Gang and that he's voiced by Cyrospace, or Kyrospace. Sorry, I'm not the best at pronouncing. And Ferrick is in the Toon Turf poster, so he has to be at least somewhat important. But we also see this purple-robed character right here, which, yeah, is probably Ferrick. But you know what I just realized recently? That the color of his robe is probably significant. Yeah, it's purple, which is just like William the Purple Fire. What if Ferrick is heavily involved in the prophecy? What if Ferrick is the one giving Riggy these visions? What if Ferrick is behind the Purple Fire and he's the one making Riggy do stuff? Okay, yeah, this theory kind of falls apart. There's a lot of evidence against this. We know that in Riggy's government documents, they say that Riggy seems to fulfill the prophetic text. Like this prophecy has existed for a long time and isn't just some random guy in a purple robe, or maybe a group of people in purple robes, making Riggy have these visions. And yeah, there's the fact that Ferrick is in Fox Gang. Like, how does this all fit together? And there's also Absinthe, who is also in the purple robe. Maybe these characters have no correlation behind them. Maybe they're in the same team. But Absinthe's whole deal is trying to communicate to us, the audience, that Riggy has done a lot of bad stuff. She's basically exposing him. The more you dive into it, the more this theory falls apart. But there's also the question, what's the deal with this purple-robed character in the first place? He has to mean something. And yeah, with not much confidence, my theory and prediction is that maybe he's involved in the prophecy. Maybe he's behind it. Who knows? Okay, little bonus theory I had right now. I was just thinking about this. What if Red Rabbit talks to this IRL guy that we see right here? And that's how he explains to Lucky that the world they're in is basically just paper cutouts or whatever he explains to Lucky. I don't know. I don't know how this all correlates. Okay, let's get into the last theory. So basically, Danno said that a sideways toilet causes Candy and Ruby's dad to go to jail, causes gang activity, causes the drug problem in the city, and basically everything. I'm sorry, Danno, but what do you mean a sideways toilet causes everything? Oh, my bad. A pig and a toilet causes it. That's on me. I'm sorry. There is simply not enough context to make a good theory or prediction about this, other than Dacia guessing that this is the butterfly effect. This sideways toilet causes one small thing, which leads into something bigger and bigger, and just the domino goes down. So here's my wild theory that absolutely makes no sense. What if the red rabbit, guys, hear me out. What if the toilet, he puts it on the side, so, and then there's like a hole underneath, and then guys, he escapes through the hole and meets the creator or something, and that's how Candy and Ruby's father gets jailed. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want some more lore, Danno leaked a clip of Toon Turf, and I made a whole video about it exposing the lore, so you should go check it out. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.